What's up? This is Ridin or Hidin. Today you got Mad Mike on the bike. Lucky you.
When did you start studying?
Probably about 2005, 2006.
What was your first stunt bike?
My first stunt bike. Those were the days, huh? My first stunt bike, I had a ZX6, a 2001 ZX6 carbureted bike. It was a real piece of shit.
Where are you from originally?
Titusville, Florida. Florida in the house.
And that's where you started studying, that's where everything began?
Yeah, pretty much. I was just riding bikes with my one friend who convinced me to get a bike when I was 21. You know, he had a 1000R, had that ZX6, and obviously his bike was a lot better than mine. But we were just out cruising around, you know, just like looking for other bikes like we did every single day.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it was like 12, 1 o'clock at night, and I seen a bunch of bikes like pulled over in a gas station.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And a bunch of cops, a bunch of bikes. So we pulled in there, and the cops left or whatever, and we asked them, you know, like, what did they get pulled over for? You know, and it was like flashy looking bikes. You know, like some of them had fur on them, and some were like all like neon type colors and stuff. And they're like, oh yeah, we got pulled over. You know, we were doing 150 mile an hour. You know, pulled over for speed. You know, and they were just like talking shit because at the time we didn't know that we were switched. You know, and we were asking them like, what's this extra lever for on here? You know, what's this extra brake? They're like, oh, that's my second clutch. That's how I do the wheelies, you know. And then we pulled out on the road, you know, and you know, they all clutched it up and stuff like that. And it was just, you know, ever since then I've been hooked, you know what I mean? I've been trashing motorcycles ever since.
Started out when you were 21. How old are you now?
38.
So you've ridden a lot of cities over the years, a lot of stunt rides, a lot of shit like that. What would you say would be your hands down favorite city you ride in?
I mean, easily I would have said Chicago. You know, lean back and Chirac. You know what I mean? And I will be there every year. Ryan 636, you know Daddy will be in your town this July. I love that place. You know what I mean? So if I had to say my favorite city, I would definitely say Chicago. But, you know, recently being out here with the band the last couple years, I learned to love Vegas. I mean, you guys know how to treat Dad when he's in town. You know, I mean, Vegas is the place too. So.
What's your favorite trick? What would you say is your favorite trick?
I'm an old rider, so every now and then I can dig deep in the bag and pull something out that'll blow your mind. But, I mean, I think my favorite trick, my most done trick is the coaster. You know, I was talking with my buddy a minute ago about it. I mean, I definitely, the trick I do the most is coasters, you know, but that's just something else. It's on another level, you know. It's like hitting a stoppie when you're in that flow. It's just something about it. But my favorite trick is definitely the no-hander. I mean, it's super challenging. You know, I do like sit-down no-handers, like on the highway or in the lot or whatever. But on the highway is where it's at, you know, on the streets, you know, 45, 50 mile an hour, and just letting go, letting the idle catch. You know, it's just something else, you know. It's definitely my favorite trick for sure.
Okay. And when you were coming up, back in like your early days of stunting, who were some of the guys that were like, that mainly inspired you to, you know what I mean? Just like, oh man, like you just seeing them do what they do, like man, that's
It was those guys that we met at the gas station, you know, the MI Extreme. Nobody really knows about them, but they were like, you know, it was like Zoo Crew, you know, Rick Nasty with the Purebred Riders, he was up north, and then the Marinol Extreme team, these guys, you know, they were the ones that I was there watching them all the time. And then after riding with them for like a year or so, they kind of were all retiring per se, you know, moving on to family stuff or whatnot. They took me to Orlando, and I met like, you know, Scary Gary and T-Neck and Papa Willie and just all the old O-Town OGs, you know what I mean? And you know, actually got to see it firsthand, you know. But as far as like who inspired me, like, you know, DVDs were big when I was riding, you know, like the Krusty Demon dirt bike videos were out, and they were trying to push the stunt riding videos like that too, and the Judgment days with Team Extreme. They had Jason Britton was in it all the time, so I kind of got into Jason Britton, not to be another Britton fan, but you know, I mean, and these are like OG Britton days when he was riding the streets, you know, and killing the Bay Bridge and all this stuff. And I used to just like watch these videos, you know, and just go out and send it. Do not try this at home, and that's exactly what I went and did, you know. And honestly, like, was lucky enough to kind of be there in the height of the sport where, you know, I got to eventually ride with Team Extreme and go do some shows with, you know, Corey and Adam Chimita, and, you know, travel out of state, do a couple shows with them there, and a couple shows in Florida and stuff like that, and actually just ride with all these guys and meet Britton and ride with Britton and compete against Britton and Kyle Slager. You know, when I was around, we had XDL, Kyle Slager had an F4i, you know, me and him, we were battling. I mean, now he leave me in the dust, you know, but back then I had a chance, you know.
What is your favorite bike to stunt and why?
So obviously, if you asked me this like 3 years ago, I would say like everybody else, you know, this 03, 04, 636, you know. But these things are old, you know. I had to let the dream, you know. Martin Luther King, he had a dream too. You know, eventually they die. So, but being that happened, I was kind of like I only ride my bike rider. You know what I mean? And ever since I traded the 0304 for the FZ, obviously I fell in love with the FZ07. Definitely my weapon of choice for the streets, you know. Not the greatest on it with circles, and, you know, it's kind of like circle on a Harley, it feels like, or something. But, you know, getting rid of the 636 kind of opened it up, and I actually, you know, get used to trying to ride a Grom, ride these FZs, switch it up to an R6, you know what I mean? And I've ridden them all over the years, you know what I mean? But if I had to pick a favorite bike, I'd say CP2 for the win. These FZs, these R7s, these MTs, I mean, these things are the new age, you know, the new age. But, I mean, for lots and shows and stuff, my R6 is still my favorite bike. Favorite bike, FZ07.
Bike, man. Don't get no better than that, baby.